The disturbing rise of brain rot content for kids by Visual Venture. VVs. I think that's what VVs are. What does it mean people say VVs? I actually don't know what that means, Chad. I'm not gonna lie. VVs. VVS diamonds rank higher on the clarity scale. Got you. See, yeah, whatever. It ranks. See, it's more expensive. There's every rise of brain rot content for kids, dude.
So, do you know what Riz is?
I started with a couple of videos, then I started watching more and more.
I'll take a double, triple grimace shake on a yacht. 4x4 Sigma style, extra quandial dingles with the skibidi and the squeeze.
I think 7th grade, they are still performing on the 4th grade level.
Brainrot, a word that people throw around all the time and possibly the biggest phenomenon to come from the internet in the last 10 years. But in reality, what does brainrot actually mean? And do people really have it? My name is Visual Venture and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. What is brainrot? Brainrot describes individuals who are chronically online. Those that use social media not just as an entertainment source, but a guidebook on how to live life. Brainrot content is often described as repetitive, low effort, and flashy. But at its core, brainrot can also be a term for people who spend too much time online to the point where it's affecting.
I caught my brother watching the fuck boom and I changed that shit instantly. You a real ass nigga, French fry. That's what you gotta do, bro. They don't, the thing is, kids don't know any better, dog. We can't blame them and be like, yeah, little kids are addicted to brain rot. Nigga, they're kids. Like you're literally a kid. You literally don't know. You don't know. So the older brothers, the dads, the moms, the teachers, the coaches, we're the ones who gotta be like, yo, I don't think that shit is good for you, bro. We saw this already. Is this a remake? Nah, Chad, this is different. This is different, I think.
Affecting their mental and even physical health. Skibidi Toilet, Cocomelon, and Fortnite memes are some examples of what brainrot can include. That or content with lots of jump cuts, sudden effects, and a ton of internet slang.
I'll take a double, triple grimace shake on a yacht. 4x4 Sigma style, extra quandial dingles with the skibidi and the squeeze.
Brainrot content is created with one purpose and one purpose only, to get viewers. Many creators have cracked the code on how to make content addictive to watch. By keeping content fast-paced, colorful, and stimulating, it tricks the brain into believing that this is something you must keep watching.
And it turns out our brains are wired to keep watching. Binging activates the reward center found in the midbrain, where dopamine is released and sent to our
give me more.
Ganglia.
Recently, brainrot has become a rising concern for parents, teachers, and even medical professionals. Researchers at Dove Press conducted a study on 1,051 young adults ages 18 to 27. The study found a direct correlation between social media and poor executive functioning skills. Those with higher screen times were proven to have lower planning, problem solving, and decision making, not to mention poor memory. The World Psychiatry Journal also did extensive research on what negative effects the internet has on cognition. Turns out, brainrot content is literally, in some cases, rotting the brain. Studies show that those who spent excessive time in virtual settings were more likely to have reduced gray matter in the brain. Simply put, gray matter helps us control our impulses and make decisions. And that data is based on an
pretty much they end up being the crackheads, i.e. or the ones that jerk their dicks too much, i.e. the niggas who just can't stop overeating sugar, i.e. that's it. That's it, bro. I get it, man. I'm trying to think. The brainrot content, I wouldn't say it's new. I'm pretty sure I was watching brainrot content as a kid. I don't think I'm above it, man. Pretty sure I was a brainrot kid, man. What was I watching? No, maybe not. I don't think I was exposed to it like that, but I watched some stupid ass shit for sure. For sure. And I'm pretty sure it had a detriment. It was a detriment to my well-being. You know? Brainrot always there to change. Yeah, like Fred. Like Fred, right? Like, wouldn't that be called brainrot? Wasn't that? I feel like that was brainrot for my age group. I didn't really watch it. I wasn't really into it, but I feel like that was brainrot. Like every generation has a form of it, dog. You're correct. You're correct. Even them niggas who are reading newspapers, there's always something wrong you could have been doing, right? You could have been reading just the porn section over there, you know?
Older demographic. Just imagine the effects it has on the iPad kids epidemic. No wonder parents and teachers are worried, especially when brainrot content is being targeted toward Gen Alpha. A study of 7,000 when brainrot
80% of parents say that they at least sometimes feel distracted by their phone when spending time with their kids.
Content is being targeted toward Gen Alpha. A study of 7,097 mothers and children found that children with more screen time had more developmental problems.
How can a nigga even use it at 1
hours of screen time per day showed delayed communication and problem-solving skills by the age of 2 under society.
How were you even able to use an iPad at 1? Coming from a man with 2 kids, I've seen these niggas. They still struggle to use these shits. How do you use an iPad at 1?
Delayed communication and problem-solving skills.
These niggas, are you sure they have delayed problem-solving skills? Because that sounds pretty skillful to me.
Of 2 under society today proves that even before the stay-at-home crisis,
sure?
Gen Alpha's educational skills were declining. And after the crisis, internet usage has obviously gotten much worse. Despite all this, younger audiences continue to flock to social media and more particularly brainrot content. And that's because the content is created almost specifically with them in mind. Creators profit from Gen Alpha's short attention spans by making addictive content. Social media's endless scroll feature keeps users hooked for hours.
Started with a couple of videos, then I started watching more and more. I watched every free moment I had, and day and night.
With all of this in mind, it leaves one question. How did we get here? Brainrot language. Just a year ago, if you asked people what brainrot was, they wouldn't have been able to describe it, but that's not the case
That's
now.
so true.
In fact, it's now much easier than ever to
Everyone
spot
knows what that
brainrot
shit
content
is.
because they all have one thing in common, the language.
Stop, you're so chalant. I'm sorry to be so chalant. It's just, you've got a level 10 yacht. No way.
Brainrot content has been
You got a level 10 yacht, no glitch. Nah, facts, nigga. You hear somebody say, like, I feel like too many words are thrown into the brain rot thing, though, right? Because these niggas do too much. Like, for example, now if you say ops, you're considered like, it's considered a brain rot word, I feel like, right? If you're like, yeah, I got ops, niggas be like, yeah, you running on brain rot. Like, Riz should be in there. What else? Glaze, that should be in there. What else should be in there? What shouldn't be in there? Yapping. I feel like yapping shouldn't be a brain rot word. It shouldn't. But it's like, that shouldn't be in there, dude. Niggas been saying yap for a minute. Niggas been saying yap for a little minute, dude. All my ex-friends spoke brain rot language, bro. My boy cut them off. He said they're your ex-friend. You cut them off.
become so common in social media that it essentially created its own language. Brainrot language is jam-packed with pop culture and internet references that most people in the real world don't understand. These slang videos are taken from trending videos and they form jam-packed with pop culture and internet references that most people in the real world don't understand.
Did I say W? W? Really? W? Somebody's kind of reaching, bro. I'm not gonna lie, somebody's kind of reaching.
Pop culture and internet references that
but I get it, they're all kind of like in the new age culture, and that's what
videos are taken from trending videos and they form sentences that don't make sense unless you watch this kind of content.
What the Sigma?
Bro. What the Sigma?
Most of the time, brainrot slang comes from influencers, particularly live streamers. Kai Cenat, a famous Twitch streamer, was the first to popularize brainrot slang words. Back in 2023, Kai coined the well-known term Riz.
Bro, I kept saying like, yo, I got Riz, a W Riz. At first, my chat was like, bro, what the like, Riz, that shit sound mad weird.
Although Riz wasn't invented by Kai, he was the one that made the word go viral. On a stream, Kai would regularly use Riz to describe someone who is charming to the person they were attracted to. Others have even said that Riz is short for romantic charisma.
You're rizzing them up to where like, okay, wait, hold on. Shit is starting to go your way.
Yeah.
Like, it's from like going from like a dead end to where yo, you're just so swift with your words and what you're saying to where like the girl's like, okay, like who is
Just charisma, bro. It's literally, it's just charisma. I don't know what we have to do. Charisma. Isn't that not where he got it from? He's explaining it like we wouldn't know.
The way Riz became such a commonly used term that its popularity went beyond the internet. It became a part of the day-to-day vocabulary of not just gamers, but also the average Joe. Since then, more and more slang words have been taken from Twitch streamers and used by the general public. Kai once again became the source of another viral brainrot term, the Phantom Tax. Kai is part of a content team called AMP, known as
This is fact. This is right from the
Together, many members of AMP live in a shared house, each having their own room to stream and make content. One of these AMP members and housemates is Phantom, another popular content creator. He became infamous online because he would constantly barge into Kai's room and steal the food that Kai ordered. Phantom collected bites of their food as a sort of tax.
Paw touch is not brain rot. First of all, that's not. Paw touch! Ah! That's not brain rot, dog. That wasn't in the list of words we just saw, as you saw. That's just not brain. Hey, that's not brain rot, boy. That is what's the opposite of brain rot? Brain development. That develops your brain right there. All right, that's what it is. That's not brain. You're bugging. You're trying to like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Kai's room and steal the food that Kai ordered. Phantom collected bites of their food as a sort of tax, and this would happen anytime someone in the house ordered a meal that looked appetizing to them.
This was the greatest AMP bit of all time, I'd say.
Calling it the Phantom Tax. This term became widely popular on social media, especially on TikTok and among Gen Alpha.
Mom, you locking doors in this house? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What's wrong with you?
This nigga just takes his whole food. This crazy.
Streamer Your Rage.
Nigga to take the whole box and the drink. And the drink, nigga, is mad.
Is another prime example. On stream, Your Age would use the word gyat to describe attractive women. And once again, the internet took the term and ran with it, making it another viral sensation.
When we say gyat, it just gotta be booby. Say gyat. It's an expression like gyat.
Oh, yeah.
Although slang in itself is a normal part of every generation, brainrot language is a bit different. Not only is it overused, but it seems like it's replacing their actual language. These slang words are usually thrown together randomly. It's not meant to make sense, and instead a mash of different words. This makes communicating with the younger generation much harder.
Oh my god. I was just about to say, like, obviously niggas know when you're just throwing it all together, it doesn't make sense. But if you're a little ass kid, you're like 3, and you see a video that says skibbity toilet, Riz, El Glaze, gyat, like you're trying to make sense of that. You're trying to make sense of something that's not supposed to make sense. And then your mind is just like, oh yeah, like this, oh, that's, yeah. Yeah, that's not good. I didn't put that together. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. That's not good.
If you want to call somebody cool, what would you say? Like
Probably like mad lit on God or something.
What? Nigga, what? Don't ever say that shit again.
God?
Yeah.
No.
Like,
G-O-D?
yeah. Mad lit on God, no cap.
Brainrot impacts more than just how kids
You just made me
talk.
angry.
It also leaves lasting effects on how
You just made me angry, dude.
Brainrot beauty standards. Looks maxing has become a viral internet niche on all social media platforms. Although it could be traced back to the mid-2010s on online forums, it only now became popular on social media. Looks maxing is just trying to make yourself as attractive as possible by maximizing your look, as the name states. But the origins of the word have a much darker history than you think. The term was originally created.
I'm gonna keep it. I feel like obviously this is happening in the age group between 12 and 17, right? And I feel like this happens between every kid in that age group because when you're like in that age group, usually you care the most what people think about you, right? You care the most, like you just genuinely do. When kids at school say something about you, you care about it. Because I remember personal story, when I was like 13, 14, niggas used to always make fun of me for my lips, like dead ass, like no joke, haha. It's funny now because I don't give a fuck. Like, you sure they're big? Who cares? Suck on them shits. They used to make fun of me for my lips all the time. So I used to sit in the mirror, literally. Listen, I used to sit in the mirror and go like this for hours, like this, and practice walking like that. Practice walking around like that, like to the point where it became such a habit that I would unconsciously do that, like all the time, just so niggas wouldn't talk on my lips. Until one day, luckily for me, a girl said, "Nah, bro, your lips are actually pretty juicy," and I was like, "Thanks, I really appreciate that." And I just let it out. But it's like when you're at that age, you want to have a nice jaw. You know what I'm saying? You be chewing on shit. You know what I'm saying? You want to have a nice jaw. It's just, you're the most, what do you call that? What is the name for a person that's consistently caring about what people, like, consistently care about their outside? The outside. What is it called? There's a word for it. Self-conscious? That's not the word I'm looking for. That's not the word I'm looking. It's like, it's a person who only cares about their appearance. Like, they're consistently care about their appearance. Expand your vocabulary. Yeah, I'm missing words right now, dude. Fuck. Narcissistic, that's not what I'm looking for. Vain. I guess, okay, we could say vain. It's not the word I'm looking for, but yeah, vain, it's the same word. It's the same thing. Seated. Egocentric. Yeah, we'll go egos. None of these words are the words I'm looking for, bro. But it's like on the tip of my tongue, but I can't. It's not coming out, and it's not here. We'll go egocentric. Egocentric works as well. Yeah, you just only care about you care about the outside, bro. You only care about that, and usually in that age range, you do. And then after a while, for some reason, you just stop. You just don't give a fuck anymore, I guess.
Created by incel community have a much darker history than you think.
People pleaser.
The term was originally created by incel communities to describe the extensive process needed to be deemed good-looking by women. Looks maxers usually go through damaging processes like extensive plastic surgery and unhealthy diets to achieve what they believe to be the ideal male look. The community also engaged actively in something called lookism, which is where they look negatively on those who aren't seen as attractive, and they only use physical appearances to judge a person's character, nothing more. It escalated to the point where there was a whole site called lookism.net with the slogan, "Where looks matter." In 2018, a 17-year-old boy named Tom checked out the site himself. As a 6'4", blonde, attractive guy, he decided to experiment and post his own picture on the site to see what others would say, and the replies were shocking. People encouraged him to get plastic surgery or use steroids to get bigger muscles.
Wow.
Other anonymous users commented that he was unattractive and had bad genes.
Your genes are pretty fucked up, I'll tell you that. It's crazy. That's crazy.
Other anonymous users commented that he was unattractive and had bad genes. In looks maxing, there's always some way to improve your looks, even if it means spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to do it. Although looks maxing isn't as extreme as it once was, it still adheres to the community's nearly impossible beauty standards. While some people seek beauty tips through it, for others it has become an obsession that spiraled to brain rot. When looks maxing first hit others, it has become
start squint maxing. Eat in a caloric deficit. Stop mouth breathing and breathe through your nose. Actually good. Breathe through your nose is actually really good. You got mad potential though, so don't worry. Squint maxing is crazy, man. So you just go like this all day. You just go like this. Hey man.
Obsession that spiraled to brain.
Motherfuckers are grinding this.
First hit mainstream social media, it was mainly a meme, and it was introduced through mewing. Mewing is when you flatten your tongue against the roof of your mouth, making your jawline look sharper. There were mixed reactions to this. Some adapted mewing into their everyday routine, while others made fun of it. At first, this seemed like a trend that would just come and go just as quickly as others have. But the simple facial...
Hold on. Look. Wait, don't move. Wait. Did it work? To the top? That shit does not work. That shit does not work, bro. Stop clip farming? That's like asking a comedian to stop telling jokes. It's my job. It's just resting your tongue on the roof of your mouth, essentially. Where else does your tongue sit? Doesn't your tongue always sit on the roof of your mouth? Right? Like, when you relax, doesn't your tongue just go to the roof of your mouth? Swear to God it does. Swear to God. Swear to God it does. I swear to God it does. I swear it just goes there.
Exercise was just the start of a dark path that many would begin to follow. The looks maxing community on social media started to get so intense it grew almost cult-like. Many members of the...
My bad, guys. I got the fucking screen up like a dickhead. I'm so sorry.
Social was just this everyday routine, while others made fun of it. At first, this seemed like a trend that would just come and go just as quickly as others have. But the simple facial exercise was just the start of a dark path that many would begin to follow. The looks maxing community on social media started to get so intense it grew almost cult-like. Many members of the community were so obsessed with their physical appearance that they started encouraging some questionable behavior.
Get mogged.
Mogging is when one person is comparably more attractive than the other, usually when standing side to side. Much like looks maxing, it originally seemed like a pretty light-hearted trend, but the mogging trend became almost synonymous with just tearing someone down because of how they look.
On the left knew he was getting mogged. Nigga, I'll mog this dick in your mouth. The fuck you mean? Shut the fuck. What is this?
Looks maxers often blame their looks as the reason why they have poor social lives and can't attract women, using mogging as a standard of self-worth. In the since deleted Reddit post on the forum r/social skills, a Redditor talked about how they got absolutely mogged by a random girl at a Walgreens. The post detailed how he felt as the woman in front of him was more attractive than him, and it made him feel self-conscious. But he even went as far as to make up scenarios on how she felt about him. He wanted to speak to her but stopped himself because he believed
just the idea of me wanting to start a conversation with her already seemed ridiculous. She would have thought, who does this unattractive manlet think he is to talk to me? Curious thing is we were the same height. So you were self-conscious that because she was more beautiful than you, you couldn't get her. That's reasonable. I don't know why you have to call it mogged or make it seem like it's not a thought that a lot of people have.
Believed that she was disgusted by him. He believed that she was thinking, who does this unattractive man think he is to talk to me? And this isn't a rare case. There are countless Reddit posts like this from people with similar mindsets. Another Redditor talked about how he's been haunted for years over some lifeguard who he believed mogged him. He explained how he was pursuing a girl for many months. One day, when they were hanging out by the pool, a lifeguard quickly showed romantic interest in her faster than he did. She told him how much she liked the lifeguard and how handsome he was. The situation happened 3 years ago, yet he's still haunted by it.
Nigga, get over that! You're such a bitch! Nigga, you don't think that's gonna happen to everybody? You don't... I'm sorry, dog. I'm sorry. If you haven't tried to go for a girl and she went for a dude that's better looking than you, maybe it wasn't for that reason, but for some other reason, come on, dude. Come on, such is life. The men who seem to have higher status in this world, starting with looks and moving up to money is probably like the highest of status. They get the most. I don't know what to tell you about this. It's just how it works. And if you're upset about that, and if you're hideous, you can hit the gym. You can get some paper. It's just how the game is played, man. You shouldn't be upset about it, because you're gonna possibly do it to other people, right? Unintentionally. Like, you can just unintentionally look better than somebody. You, the person who commented, you could look better than somebody but another guy wants that girl and you took her. You know what I'm saying? You took her. You just mocked somebody unintentionally. Like, they're supposed to cry about it? It's like, oh man, well, next one, right? Like, what?
This community cares so much about bettering their looks, they'll go to extreme lengths.
This is a crazy video,
In 2023,
dude.
several filters started going viral on TikTok. These filters would measure the angle of your eyes or the size of certain facial features. These were supposed to help you see if you fit in the ideal beauty standard. Using supermodels like Francisco Lachowski and Jordan Barrett as inspiration, LooksMaxers have a very specific standard. To meet it, you need to fit a certain criteria. One of these requirements is hunter's eyes. These are eyes that are characterized by a positive canthal tilt, which basically means that they're angled upward in the outer corners.
I'm a facial plastic surgeon. Let me explain this new canthal tilt filter. What this is the angle created from the inner corner of the eye to the outer corner of the eye. If you have a positive tilt, that means that the outer corner is slightly higher than the inner corner.
Now you're making me self-conscious, bro.
Went crazy on TikTok, with many young men becoming obsessed with achieving the look.
Your eye area makes or breaks you. The eye area holds a pivotal place in determining facial attractiveness.
Not everyone is born with their eyes shaped this way, so many came up with ways to shape their
Let me
eyes,
see this.
and they called it squint maxing. Within look maxing, there are subcategories of self-improvement tips like hair maxing. With squint maxing, people tried to continuously squint their eyes so that they resemble hunter eyes, hoping that if they did it long enough, they would have their desired.
So I think going back to the story of me in high school or 8th grade, I think what I was doing was called lip maxing, right? Because I was trying to subconsciously make my lips smaller. Like, I was doing the same thing literally in the mirror day after day. Like, I don't think you understand. Like, I was like, nah, I gotta get these shit smaller, bro. I get it, dude. I get it.
Eyes. But one of the most common and most controversial methods that look maxers use is something called starve maxing. To get that shredded physique and a chiseled face, many looks maxers put themselves on highly restrictive diets. With so much negativity in the community, some creators turn this into a business.
Shami is a 22-year-old college student based in San Diego who's become the face of this looks maxing trend after posting this video showing his physical transformation between the ages of 17 and 20.
TikToker Kareem Shami, known by his
Everyone's gonna be shocked when he turns out to be gay in 5 years.
Creator who makes self-improvement content specifically
like, what? Wait, I thought we were getting girls.
Tips on hair care, personal hygiene, and facial
We're
exercise.
getting dick.
Kareem shares his insights in his paid community, Mogwarts Academy. Claiming to be the top-rated community for continuous self-improvement, Mogwarts has over 2,205 looks maxers. For $10 a month, members get access to over 14 hours of exclusive content.
How many niggas do it in here, bro? Nigga, if you say some crazy amount of people are in here, bro. If you say some crazy amount of niggas are in here, I'm ending the stream.
Content and personal lessons on how to look their very best. This also unlocks other resources like a community forum, live webinars, and video tutorials.
He said
Despite
2K?
its thriving community, it's been debated whether Mogwarts is just a meme. It's also been criticized for preying on the insecure. People who have purchased the course claimed that the resources are recycled.
Where did he say 2K? 2,200 verified students at least.
For $10 a month, member Mogwarts has over 2,205 looks maxers. For $10 a month, members get access to over 14 hours of exclusive content and personal lessons on how to look their very best. This also unlocks other resources like a community forum, live webinars, and video tutorials. Despite its thriving community, it's been debated whether Mogwarts is just a meme. It's also been criticized for preying on the insecure. People who have purchased the course claimed that the resources are recycled from other sources like other forums or websites. Others have called the entire course Brainrot and criticized both Kareem and Mogwarts for charging a monthly subscription for basic self-improvement
stacking up like Netflix. Fuck you mean?
Google search. Some apps have been created specifically targeting looks maxers. Umax is an app that can calculate how much you fit the looks maxing beauty standard. You take a selfie on the app and then it'll rate you based on 6 different categories: potential, masculinity, skin quality, jawline, and cheekbones. Although Although the app is free, users can't access its features unless they pay to unlock them. But looks maxing is just one part of Brainrot content. These beauty standards impact women too. Brainrot aesthetics. Do you know if you're cat pretty, or fox pretty, or turtle pretty?
There is a total of 10 different types, and we'll dive into each of the face shape types to better understand the features and charms of each.
Originating in East Asia, animal facial types were used in the beauty industry to describe different face shapes and features. But since it's become popularized in North America,
we've come a long way from doing the fucking Year of the Rat, Year of the Dragon, Year of the Tiger. We've come a long way from that, man. Those were the good days, bro. When you were in the Chinese restaurant waiting for your food, you're like, what year am I? Oh, I'm the bull. I'm the bull. Come a fucking long way, nigga. Like flying cars, they said. Like, man.
America describe different face shapes and features, but since it's become popularized in North America, it's gotten a bit out of control. For starters, this comparison is very niche to internet culture, which makes it confusing to understand for those who aren't always online. Although the animal face types are meant to describe different sorts of faces, many of the people referenced in these videos are models, actresses, or influencers who've gotten expensive beauty treatments. Many young girls on social media feel inferior to these since they don't look like the women in the videos. So they either try and fit into one of these archetypes or get plastic surgery. And this is just one part of a long-term trend that's been happening on the internet. Physical looks, personality traits, or other characteristics have started being grouped into aesthetics. Aesthetics have been around for as long as the internet has. Many people credit the website Tumblr for popularizing the concept back in the early 2010s.
It definitely did.
When we think of aesthetics in the 21st century, we often think of hyper-specific Instagram feeds or the unending wormhole of aesthetic niches on Tumblr.com.
An aesthetic in internet terms refers to
things
or
Pinterest.
people with a specific look, personality, or style. From e-girls to cottagecore, young girls cycle through aesthetics every few weeks. They buy all new wardrobes, dye their hair, and sometimes even take on new personalities to match the aesthetic. But sometimes it can get a little confusing.
You're totally giving golden retriever boyfriend energy, which is amazing because I want to be.
What? POV, go on a date, but she speaks in TikTok Brainrot language, which is amazing because I want to be giving black cat energy.
But sometimes it can get a little confusing.
You're totally giving golden retriever boyfriend energy, which is amazing because I want to be giving black cat energy.
It might seem harmless at first, but chasing aesthetics can be harmful. They change quickly, making it tiring to keep up. And it also encourages overconsumption.
Because something that TikTok is really good at is creating these hyper-specific micro-trends that only last for a week that people blow hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on, and then by the next week, next Monday, it's out of trend.
Social media is the source of major financial problems. At one point, 8-year-olds were going to Sephora to buy makeup and skincare products designed for adults which can harm their skin. If you want to know more about this, check out my video called How the Internet Destroyed Generation Alpha. Now let's do a deeper dive on few specific aesthetics with more problematic origins. One of the most infamous trends on social media in recent months is the coquette aesthetic. Identified by its excessive use of baby pink, dainty bows, and Lana Del Rey songs, the coquette aesthetic took over social media. The coquette aesthetic, once popular on Tumblr, has resurfaced and spread across the internet, even becoming a meme.
Bro, what? What is this?
While most people saw this as a micro trend that would fade away, others didn't feel the same, and a temporary aesthetic soon became a permanent consequence. The trend went far beyond just putting bows on everything, because the coquette aesthetic isn't just a look, it's also a lifestyle that only certain people could live. For starters, a coquette woman has to look a specific way. Pale skin, thin figure, dainty, and delicate, which not many people naturally are. Many others wanted to recreate it for themselves, and with all the reference photos being unhealthily thin women, some started to do whatever it took to achieve this look.
While the aesthetic and philosophy is pretty, some of the people in the community as a whole are not. There is a notion that you have to be really skinny to be coquette, because what is depicted mostly in the aesthetic is really slender girl.
But that's not the only damaging part. The coquette aesthetic actually has some dark history that not many people know about. As defined by Merriam-Webster, a coquette is a woman who endeavors without sincere affection to gain the attention and admiration of men. And since the coquette aesthetic focused so much on softness and innocence, it became a favorite of men who had a fixation with younger partners, much younger. But for those who didn't like pink or lace, another controversial aesthetic quickly took over social media in January of 2024. This one was oddly specific. On January 6th, 2024, a TikTok user posted a video that went viral.
Clean girl is out, mob wife era is in, okay?
In the video, she talks about how she wanted to ditch the clean girl aesthetic, which was an aesthetic where women would wear slick back buns, minimalist styles, and natural makeup. Instead, she proposed that everyone start doing the mob wife aesthetic. The aesthetic was based on fashion of the wives of gangsters and mobsters, mostly from TV shows and movies. Common references were characters like Elvira from Scarface or Talia from The Godfather. Immediately, TikTok was on board. Fashion creators started wearing large flying through these like a fucking jewelry and bold makeup. Anything a stereotypical mob wife would wear. Soon, the mob wife aesthetic became a trending topic on the internet, viral on social media, and covered by news outlets and magazines. But while the mob wife's life looked glamorous from the outside, looks are deceiving, because the reality of being a wife of a renowned criminal is anything but aesthetic. Since mob wives are tied directly to the mafia, their lives are constantly at risk. Their husbands are dangerous and even—
What about the wife beater aesthetic next? Facts, my nigga, because they're eventually gonna run out of it. Be like, they gonna eventually run out of shit. Be like, you know what? Wife beater aesthetic is totally in. Makeup, bruises on your face, neck. Please put a choke mark around it. Let's go. Let's go. We're in. We're in. Who are some TV moms that get beat all the time? Who are some TV moms that get beat all the time? I don't know. I feel like mob wives probably get beat all the time.
Even if they're directly to the mafia, their lives are constantly at risk. Their husbands are dangerous, and even if their lives were miserable, they had to stay with them or face dire consequences. Actual wives of mobsters started speaking up, talking about their real-life experiences and about how uncomfortable they were with the trend. Ali K, a TikToker and former mob wife, posted a response video to one of the viral mob wife aesthetic videos. In it, she talked about the dark reality of being the wife of a mobster.
Y'all do and wear what you want, but mob wife is not a makeup look. It's knowing that the safe in your bedroom with the cash in it is the decoy. It's being better than doctors at CPR and first aid.
Ali continued to open up about her past as a mob wife in other videos on her channel. She told stories about the incidents that happened in her marriage, like how her husband regularly gave her special types of painkillers for her headaches. She also talked about how the heavy and dark makeup that everyone on the internet seemed to love wasn't just a cosmetic choice. The makeup was used to hide injuries. Through these stories, she reminded people that her life was not an aesthetic and that being a mob wife shouldn't be glamorized. Some people have become so disconnected from the real world that they can't tell the difference between what's real and what's fake. Brainrot in real life. If you've been on the internet lately, you've probably seen this meme. Drawn by war artist Tom Leah, the 2,000-yard stare is an art piece. It was originally published in Life magazine in 1945 and was meant to showcase the shell shock that those in the military felt during the war. Although it was first publicized almost 80 years ago, the 2,000-yard stare didn't become famous until recently. Social media users started using it as a meme, renaming it as the 1,000-yard stare instead.
The 1,000-yard stare is being used as a reaction image to the horrors that persist online at any given moment. Whether this be the most cringeworthy post you've ever seen, making you shudder so hard you turn into a black hole, or actual nightmarish footage that leads you to traumatization forever.
The image became one of the most commonly used meme images online. Many people had never seen the artwork before, so when TikTok user @JoshLunchbox posted this video, they were surprised to say the very least.
Looked up from studying and thought I had finally developed internet brain rot. Couldn't be.
Josh, studying in a library, saw a book with a 2,000-yard stare picture. He captioned, "Go back to the digital realm. You're not meant to be here." The video instantly went viral. Josh, like many others, was completely shocked that the 2,000-yard stare was a real art piece and not just an internet meme. Many commenters also agreed with Josh, saying that if they saw this piece in real life, they would have lost their minds. People genuinely believed that the 2,000-yard stare was created to be a meme. They forgot what life was like outside of the internet. In the comments, tons of people shared that they felt like they truly had brain rot. One commenter shared that when he first saw a horse in person, he started quoting BoJack Horseman,
was supposed to be
which is an animated show about a humanoid horse. Another commenter talked about the time he was telling the story of Sisyphus to someone. When that person asked him how he knew about it, he had to cite his source as TikTok. Josh's video opened up the floodgates for discussions about brain rot, especially about how Gen Z and Gen Alpha are so chronically online that they can't seem to remember a world that existed without technology attached to you every second. This makes sense considering how in today's day and age, the internet is our source for everything, not just entertainment, but even real-world news. Although brain rot has often been associated with things like memes, slang, and pop culture references, brain rot can also come from the overconsumption of much darker content.
The pandemic has led to a dramatic increase in screen time for many, and a lot of those hours have been devoted to what experts call doom scrolling. It's an unhealthy habit for multiple reasons, and one that is well worth the effort to break.
Doom scrolling is the activity of spending a lot of time looking at your phone or computer reading negative news stories. And with most of our news coming from social media, it's much easier to doom scroll. It makes people feel negative, yet they can't seem to stop doing it.
That's Twitter,
because doom scrolling is addictive. According to clinic directors at the University of Pennsylvania, people doom scroll because they're searching for answers. Especially during the stay-at-home crisis, when nothing was certain, people believed that if they found answers to their questions, they would feel better. But of course, the answers only lead to more questions. Clickbait articles and videos attract your attention, but it's all just fake news.
Yep, a code red warning for everyone's life has just been set, and if you have an iPhone, get away immediately.
On the subreddit r/productivity, there are dozens of posts from people who say that doom scrolling has ruined their lives. The first thing they do in the morning is go on TikTok to watch bad news, and it completely throws off the rest of their day. They are intentionally rotting their brain, but they don't know how to stop. So with all of this damaging brain rot content, what impact does this have on kids today? Brain rot on Generation Alpha. For Gen Alpha kids who are addicted to their devices, the internet
During
is
quarantine. I still went outside with the neighborhood. Yeah, like we're not gonna act like things were shut down, but like nigga, most of us have a backyard, right? Like I was about to sit inside all day and do nothing. Simple, like for the simple fact, it's like, bro, fuck that I need fresh air. Fuck that I need the sun. That shit gets boring. Like sitting inside on the computer, sitting inside scrolling, that shit gets boring, nigga. Like it just does. It's like, all right, bro, I don't want to just fucking sit on the computer all day. Like I'm gonna go for a walk. It's like, dude, what am I gonna like in large cities? That's true. That's so true. I guess you're right. Yeah, in large cities you can't just pop outside like that. If you were living in New York City at that time, it's gonna be a little bit harder for you. It's gonna be a little bit harder for you to just pop out and show niggas. Definitely, you're right. I didn't even think about that. But I don't know. I think you could still walk up and down the block, right? You still walk up and down the block. Like, was that not allowed? You can't? You couldn't? Oh, wow. Oh, there was a cop outside? Wow. Wow. What the hell? Yeah, I was going to say, you was living a crazy life during quarantine, bro. You was living a crazy life. Having cops outside the crib is wild. I'm not gonna lie. Just to keep niggas inside is crazy. Yeah. That's a different life. That's a different life, nigga. I'm sorry that happened to you, cause holy shit, dude. You're a real one for making it out, cause I wouldn't have. I would have went crazy in that house.
is their truth. And it all has real-world consequences that are finally starting to come to light. They overconsume social media content, which brands and creators exploit. According to a study by the American Psychological Association, kids ages 10 to 12 are more addicted to social media because their brain creates social rewards after they go on it. These are like happy hormones that they can get from day-to-day interactions like talking to friends, but much more intense.
When we engage with social media, it releases a lot of dopamine in the brain's reward pathway. It's bountiful in the sense that it's practically speaking infinite. TikTok never runs out.
But social media addiction doesn't just mean increased screen time. It also has serious consequences when it comes to Gen Alpha's learning and development.
Young Gen Z teachers are talking about the poor behavior of Gen Alpha students, and some of y'all are finally starting to believe us when
Bro, it's technically not our fault that we don't have actual entertainment anymore. Like, the government banned fidget spinners and Rubik's Cubes are slowly fading up. My nigga, are you trying to blame the government for not having entertainment outside of TV? Ain't no way. This is a joke, right? That's a joke. That had to have been a joke. You're trolling right now. You're definitely trolling. You're definitely trolling. My nigga, go the fuck outside. Pick up some goddamn sticks and go build you a stick house. My nigga, you can get Jenga blocks off Amazon. OD easy, bro. Rubik's Cubes off Amazon. Like, bro, the dollar store has crazy toys, dude. That's the greatest quote I've seen in this chat ever. Boredom helps you be creative. Boredom is literally where creativity comes from. I promise. It's literally that. We watched a video on it. I remember we watched it together. It's literally where creativity comes from, bro. So, like, dog, sit there in your boredom and cook something up. Go get some pots and pans and cook something up. Also, they took away my toys. Bruh. They can take away everything from you, bro, but they can't take away your brain. They really can't. I mean, unless they put a chip in you when you were a kid, like we talked about last time, and you're really a sleeper agent. But that's it's beyond the point. I went to a movie recently, and this kid whipped out their iPad during the movie at full brightness. I think their parents gave it to them because the child couldn't sit still. Yeah, bro. Leave that nigga home. Leave that nigga home, bro. Nothing scarier than being alone with your own thoughts. Some stupid motherfucker, because creativity and imagination are a bomb. I mean, I heard a quote like that recently, actually. He said something along those lines. He was like, for most people, they'll do every type of hard work except the work of thinking, right? Like, they'll work labor jobs, they'll do construction, they'll do anything to move their body over and over again to let their body get exhausted so their brain doesn't get exhausted. They just don't want to take the time to think. And when he said that, I was like, damn, holy fuck, like, you're right. You're fucking right.
When it comes to Gen Alpha's learning and development.
Young Gen Z teachers are talking about the poor behavior of Gen Alpha students, and some of y'all are finally starting to believe us when it comes to how much we've missed the mark on raising these kids right.
Many teachers have used social media to share stories from their classrooms about their students, but not for a good reason.
And I teach at one of the more affluent schools. When I tell you that these babies cannot read, they cannot write, and they cannot comprehend, I'm not being funny. I'm being dead serious.
The Nation's report card reported that 67% of fourth graders are considered not proficient in reading. Reading and math scores in the United States are at the lowest they've been in decades. And while we can't exactly blame all of this on Brainrot content, children ages 8 to 12 average almost 5 hours a day on screens. So it's not far-fetched to say that there may be.
What did you say? 5 hours a day is nuts, dude. My nigga, I was binging Naruto and I wasn't averaging 5 hours a day. Huh? Cap. Actually, cap. I was. RuneScape? When RuneScape popped off? When RuneScape popped out, my nigga, I think I was averaging like 10. I'm lying. I definitely was. RuneScape had me on that shit. It had me on my laptop for like hours on end, dude. Hours on end. And I was like, I think I was like 11. I was like 11, 12. Well, other than that, yeah, bro. To just watch shit though, I think sitting there and watching something for 5 hours is crazy. But if you mean like gaming, I can see that. But if you're just talking about sitting on the screen and watching shit, you're crazy.
Exactly blame all of this on Brainrot content. Children ages 8 to 12 average almost 5 hours a day on screens. So it's not far-fetched to say that there may be some correlation there. Not to mention, many of these kids lack basic comprehension skills.
I could ask them, who is the main character of your story? The story that 4-paragraph story we just read. Can't tell you. They don't know. It took us 4 weeks. 4 weeks.
Damn.
To get through how to answer a question in a complete sentence.
This can also explain why younger generations, specifically Gen Alpha, are so drawn to online shopping. Because of their lack of media literacy and comprehension, they're easily swayed by marketing. WebPurify surveyed over 1,000 US parents and found that 16% of kids had online shopping addictions, with 22% preferring it as their main source of entertainment.
How old?
Even with the major concerns we've covered, not everything online is harmful for kids. Brainrot exists, but so does great content.
Facts.
You can learn almost
just
anything
like yours,
with a few clicks. Personally, I learned more in 1 year of online learning by myself than 6 years of traditional schooling. Everything I know about YouTube is solely because of the internet. Gen Alpha is incredibly innovative and tech savvy. If they use these tools for good, I know they can change the world. Visual Venture. Wait, before you go, make sure you guys watch this video about the internet.
VVs! I love this nigga, man. Hey, yo, if you're not subscribed to Visual Venture already, like, bro, I don't say go to subscribe to a bunch of people, but this guy, you've got to. You've got to. He's just different. If I saw him in person, I'd give him a hug. He's just different. VV's on him dancing.